Very excited to talk to you. We'll be getting into your episode of the Great Barrier Reef, which I absolutely love. But before that, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passions. I want to know where your passion for nature kind of came from, led you on an amazing TV journey.
Hey, Steve, great to talk to you.
It's
It's, I think I was sort of hardwired with that passion because I was born in a location in the Hudson Valley, New York, surrounded by woods and lakes and rivers in a small town experience. And that was sort of my backyard playground. So I preferred spending time out in nature from the time that was allowed to go out and do that on my own and do it with friends. And then that grew into um, camping and hiking and then visiting national parks and then sort of got the bug about wanting to see more around the world, like so many people on Sunday afternoon watching Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom and realizing, boy, there's the whole rest of the world full of really interesting wild animals that I would love to see someday.
very cool. Well, take me back to 1987 because I guess the first thing you filmed was at the Great Barrier Reef, right?
We very close to that. Yes, one of the very first shows,
Mhm.
and it was interesting. I originally was designing free roaming animal displays for zoos and parks, and happened to have the world's largest litter of tigers ever born, and was asked if I could talk about them with Jim Fowler on the Carson Show. And as a result of that, he said, we're not looking for an actor, we're looking for a conservationist. Would you be interested in being on our show? And I said, let me think. And about 3 seconds later, the discussion had started. So soon thereafter, you're right. It was off to Australia and I remember this script so clearly. It said, you'll be diving with great white sharks, uh, testing to see if sharks are attracted to bright colors. And my suit was bright yellow, by the way. And then you'll be trying a new shark repellent, which you spray out of a container in the water, and the sharks are supposed to swim away. And then you'll be spending time working with researchers, measuring and documenting it. So uh, I had embellished my skills a little bit during my interview. So a friend gave me a quick crash course on scuba diving in a swimming pool, and a couple of weeks later, there I was in a cage in Australia, filming white sharks. So it was,
Wow. I
uh,
guess the appellant worked because you're here with us right now. So
well, as my instructor explained to me, he said, if you can breathe, you can scuba dive. Now just relax. So that's that's the way it all started. And it's interesting to see that that's the manner in which sharks were filmed in those days, behind bars, and they were
Mhm.
chum in the water. And more recently, Dr. Ray and I have filmed together on our new series, um, realizing that sharks are not as they were portrayed in those days. We have kayaked near Santa Barbara and had great white sharks just curiously swimming around us, and then swum with them in the Bahamas. Dove with sharks. These are that swam just near you and were curious and looked at you and occasionally would brush up against your snorkel. But these were reef sharks. They were just curious. And as long as you just sit there and are calm and let them sort of check you out while you're filming them, it's a wonderful experience. It totally changes your attitude about sharks. And we realize that they are, a very important part of the ecosystem. They are a predator that keeps other populations in check, and so that's one of our many new shows, which is on NBC on weekend mornings on Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom, protecting the wild. And so many of them have to do with scuba diving. Many have to do with reintroduction of species. So many have to do with positive conservation stories and animals that are making a comeback.
Absolutely. Well, my favorite animal in the world is turtles, and you can include sea turtles in there. Your Reef Berry episode was really cool. How you went to the rehab center and I mean, the one poor turtle had like a harpoon through its lungs, and they were showing how to reintroduce swimming because the fin was like damaged. And apparently there's 6 different sea turtle species in the Great Barrier Reef. That's amazing. Thought it was only like the one sea turtle.
They are. No, there's so many different species there, and there are so many rehabilitation centers around Queensland
Hmm.
and around the Barrier Reef. And the thing that impressed me most about Australia is how many people and agencies are involved with preserving wildlife. And there are issues with car strikes and loss of habitat, but they are immediately there to save the young, hand raise them, and try to get them reintroduced. And so many of our shows up and coming about Australia have to do with these, also with these successful reintroductions. But at one point, Dr. Ray and I did get to snorkel around with a turtle that had been saved, and it kept kind of curiously coming back, and it would pop up next to us, and we would swim a little farther out, and it stayed sort of close to home, not far from the area where it had been reintroduced, which made really easy for us to get a good look at one up close, enjoying itself in the wild.
That's amazing. One thing I learned about there's like marine heat waves under the water. That's blows my mind. So, and apparently
Yes.
it's not very good for the coral reef itself.
It's not. And part of one of the shows we filmed there had to do working with coral reef experts, and they are growing a coral in labs that grow really quickly and then attaching it to sort of underwater trees, I should say. And they lower them at different depths. And this way they can determine which coral survives different temperatures at different depths, which is resistant to heat, which is not so resistant. And this is all just proactive experimentation of what the future of the Great Barrier Reef may be.
I just love it. Apparently some of them get bleached, the coral reef.
They
Like,
do. The temperature and the intensity of the sun can do that. Others have issues with algae on them. So part of what we've done, another one of our shows that actually took place in Costa Rica, we were introducing crabs that help to keep the growth that comes off that might affects the reef. There's this very intricate system that keeps the reef alive, and they the animals that help keep the reef from disappearing. So there are so many indicators that we have identified what the problems are. Of course, warming is a serious problem. Now we're trying to identify which species of the coral can survive that, how they adapt, and which can't and which do. And gradually, we're working more and more on solutions to deal with the problems as they occur. And I think that's probably the most important message, I think, for us to do, because there's a whole generation that grew up hearing the gloom and doom about the state of our planet, right?
absolutely.
We are kind of in that slot where that was the information that we heard. Now it's important that we say, yes, we have problems, but look at all the solutions that we have of animals that are coming off the endangered species list that are doing well. There's a lot more hope. And by the way, here's what you can do to help.
That's amazing. Before I let you go, is there anything in the works you're allowed to talk about?
Well, I see. I think, yes, next week, going to Costa Rica. We're going to film jaguars and tapirs and venomous snakes, just to name a few. And I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but I just did. So I hope you all look forward to that. Season 3 is dropping now. This will be for season 4. And we have a lot of very exciting new experiences coming up. We'll see you on NBC on weekend mornings.
Yeah, and the episode I talked about, Reef Revival, is going to re-air on NBC on February 7th. Well, you can also check it out online in the meantime. And I have the social media links down below, and everyone can follow your journey going forward too. So please keep up the amazing work, and thanks for being inspiration to the world.
Excellent. Dr. Ray and I will look forward to seeing you all then.